Planning really starts in earnest when you're in the truck. Discussion of where the casualty is, how difficult or easy it will be to access them, and what kit we might need, and what we might expect to see when we arrive on scene.
On arrival at the base of High Rig, plans are made for the best way to reach Sally.
There is a track that goes up onto the fell that way, so it's actually on High Rig.
I reckon it'll just be straight lining it onto the ridge.
Yeah.
Supposedly, yeah.
But they won't head up until they've heard from the team already on the hill.
We're still trying to figure the situation out, so we're just waiting here now to find out what the location of the casualty is, and then we're going to shoot up with whatever gear that we need.
Meanwhile, Ellie and Bracken are making their way through heavy vegetation on the fell side. High Rig stands at a modest 357 metres, dwarfed by neighbouring mountains Helvellyn and Skiddaw. Relatively easy walking, combined with stunning views, is what makes it so popular with locals and visitors. But at this time of year, the bracken can grow above head height, and the advance party is still struggling to find Sally.
Keswick Big Chris, this is Keswick Control on Nick Peter. Locations as was, the informant Kevin is going to wait and sort of shore bank for you.
With Sally's location confirmed and Kevin to guide them, Team 2 can start their ascent. But boggy terrain, made worse by recent heavy rain, has made conditions underfoot treacherous for anyone out on the hills.
It's really wet as well. Like really, really wet.
With rain falling on average on 200 days of the year and a base of hard volcanic rock preventing drainage, the Lake District is prone to waterlogged ground.
I don't know if I've got any dry socks. I might take my socks off now while they're dry and save them so I can go back to work.
We work on fitness pretty regularly as a mining rescue team, and we do our best to leg it up the hill as quickly as we can, knowing that the sooner you get there, the sooner you can sort out pain relief for the casualty and get them packaged and get them down off the hill to a place of definitive care where they'll be safe.
Whether you're looking for a comfy bed to wind down in, or gearing up for a weekend away, returning from a hard day's work, or last-minute prepping for that all-important meeting, whether you've got little ones with big appetites, or an appetite for a big adventure, enjoy the same feeling not emotionally. Premier Inn. Rest easy. Book direct for the best rates at premierin.com.
Car insurance can sometimes feel a bit puzzling, and until it's solved, everything can seem out of place. With more than 100 years' experience in protecting drivers, Aviva can solve your conundrums. Click. Helping solve your car insurance puzzles, it takes Aviva. Get a quote today.
We were a noisy generation, but it might be something quiet we do that becomes our greatest legacy. Leave a gift in your will to the British Heart Foundation and fund groundbreaking research that could help save millions of lives. Search BHF Wills.
I'm Hannah. I've been a Pension B customer for nearly 3 years now. I knew I wanted to start a family and I really had to think about my future. What attracted me to Pension B was how easy it was to sign up. I literally found them online, downloaded the app, and they had lots of different plans which aligned with my values. I think I had a 5 or 6 previous workplace pensions, and Pension B were able to combine them all into one place.
Be pension confident. Download the Pension B app today. At Stay Shore, we're putting the shore in travel insurance. From the moment you buy shore, on the day you arrive shore, you can explore shore, play shore, eat shore, do shore, or just rest shore. We've helped over 10 million people feel travel shore, including those with pre-existing medical conditions. Stay Shore, putting the shore in travel insurance. Buy now and save 20%. Life is full of big occasions. The ones we plan, the ones we prepare for. But sometimes it's these moments, in the here and now, that are just as special. So savor them together with the delicious multi-layered experience of Ferrero Rocher.
Complaining about her neck, and she had blood gushing from her head wound, and all of a sudden she coughs, and all this blood spurts out everywhere. And that's when I started to panic.
Already on scene are Land's End Coast Guard rescue team members, local ambulance paramedics, and a critical care team from the local air ambulance. Chrissy has multiple life-threatening injuries, and with Rescue 924's winch paramedic Menno now on the ground, everyone's keen to get her off the rocks and to hospital as soon as they can.
She had a head injury and a query spinal injury, and therefore required a stretcher recovery.
Jason prepares to winch Chrissy on board.
Steady, stretch it up a day. And let me know when you're happy for me to move on.
The stretcher will keep her spine fully immobilized until she can be assessed in hospital.
Ron's specialty is the extraction, so how we're going to do it. The problem we've got is it's quite a confined space, and the road's washing directly below the aircraft, so we're going to have to use a high line just to give it a bit of stability.
The high line, a weighted rope used to lower equipment to the winch paramedic, can also help reduce swing in the hoist cable during a recovery.
We want to limit movement as much as possible, so we're trying to make the recovery phase as smooth as possible.
For recovery, mate, we'll do a high line initially, we'll move left, and then if you get rid of the high line, we'll just trickle forward. I think the intention is we'll keep on the rocks and everything like that. But you answered all your care rescue pure awareness so that you can accept the coast clear them. We'll get them and we'll take you care your one with your pedal cover. Yeah, I'll take it over clear. Yeah, I'll go into the might go to winch. Okay, Menno's at the right 3 o'clock. Just winch out. Go for 45. 4, 3, 2, 1. Steady. Okay, now steady. Good position. Happy, mate? Attached. Winching in slowly. Winching in slow. Nose coming off. Now. Show left. Move left. Clear the area. Go left. Nice and steady stretcher. Continue left.
Once you lift the casualty in the stretcher with the winchman, you've got a lot of cable, so there's a certain distance below the aircraft where if that stretcher is in that zone for too long, it starts to spin, and that spin gradually gets faster and faster if you haven't got any way of counteracting it.
This is 120 feet. Okay, and if you increase your speed initially 15, then we've got a slight spin at the moment.
Once you've detached the high line, if the stretcher starts to spin, the only way we can stabilise it then is by going into forward flight to get a bit of airflow underneath the disc and past the stretcher, and then it tends to stabilise out. And it's very easy for people to become unconscious just through the G-forces of a spin. So it's not a pleasant experience for the casualty, it's not a pleasant experience for the winchman either.
Right from the door. And those big arms, got his hand hold, winching in, just come alongside. Where's the pilot? And stop. Okay, he's got a hand hold. And stretcher is inboard to clear up. That's it. Door shut. Goody. Nice work. Goody. Right then. How far did you fall? I think approximately 12 to 15 feet. First a stumble and then a free fall. Okay.
Once the casualty got into the helicopter, it's over to the guys in the back really. Our role then is to get to hospital as quickly as possible.
Menno, when we land on, mate, I'll go get the ambulance crew. I'll then come round the back. Yeah. So I'll do all that. You just look after her.
Just 15 minutes later, Rescue 924 touches down at Trelisk Hospital. Menno briefs the hospital medics on the nature and current status of Chrissy's injuries, and she's transferred to specialist care.
At the end of the day, once you've achieved the job, you've saved a life or moved someone to an environment which is a lot safer than the one they were in, so there's a great sense of achievement.
In the Lake District, the Keswick Mountain Rescue Team have been called out to High Rig, where hill walker Sally appears to have badly fractured her ankle.
Just confirm that Melodi's not on any medication. No,
42-year-old Sally, a psychologist from Cheshire, is on holiday with some friends and her husband Daniel.
Right, so this is desperate ball. You can clear some of this rubbish out of the way. We'll get the stretcher alongside you, who are Craig at the moment. Have yourself onto there. Clear yourself down. When you put something on your head so your head's up a bit, like a bag or I've got a can bag, yeah.
Entonox, gas and air, is on hand for pain relief, but so far Sally's doing well without it.
So if you feel any pain coming on, just take a good take on that and keep moving. So I'm just going to shove this under your strap, this excess bit here. Is that painful on your right side? Okay. Well, make sure you put that in your trip advisor, will you? Alright.
We often just have good banter with the casualty, and Sally was no exception.
What we're trying to do is get you out of here before the real rescue team turn up.
We know that Sally's not in any life-threatening situation, which is always good. Doesn't really mean that we step off the gas.
A bad fracture needs hospital treatment as soon as possible. Any delay could have long-term consequences for Sally's healing and future mobility.
There he goes that direction, then cuts back. That's the wall.
Although it's less than 300 metres back to the team vehicles, it's going to be a difficult carry-off, wet and slippery underfoot, with thick bracken blocking their path.
It would be really useful if you spare, guys, if you can be sort of trampling some of this rubbish down the road. Literally about 3 or 4 abreast, so it would be good.
I'm no botanist, but bracken looks like a giant fern. Most people would be familiar with the stuff, but it grows like weeds here in the Lake District. And it's got lots of fronds on it, thin, flexible stems, so it's just really good at wrapping itself around your legs and dragging at your feet.
It also harbours ticks that can cause Lyme disease in people, a nasty bacterial infection that can lead to long-term joint pain and severe fatigue.
Oh yeah, I've had a lunch this year. 1, 2, 3.
Several of us had to go ahead and just constantly trample down and crush the bracken down so that the stretcher party could get through.
With 13 people now involved in getting Sally off the hill, her husband Daniel is grateful for the help of the experts.
We lost our way a little bit, and then we ended up surrounded by bracken and a very steep hill. And from one moment to the other, my wife just slipped, and it sounded quite serious. She can't walk, she couldn't move, so we were stranded up that hill.
After 30 minutes, the team's battle with the undergrowth is over.
So what